go there. Apparently somebody's been over here. Somebody's been over here fucking with my equipment. But you know, I mostly was giving y'all a shout out. See, that's what happens when we take some time off. I forgot how to use the equipment and do all my usual checks. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to all the people. We got Mia, Atif, JF, Luke Cage, Free to Be Me, Mecca Divine Wisdom, 793rd, Atif, SW, AllahChrist, District 120, Knowledge Love. Yeah, shout out to all the people that came out to the show and proof. Round of applause for y'all. We got a couple people, Free to Be Me, and Mecca Divine Wisdom. I don't know if y'all aware of who y'all watching right now. In a minute or two, I'm gonna have to hip you to some of the developments. Some of the developments that have occurred. I don't know if y'all. I don't know when the last time y'all tuned in. Not sure that y'all know. Did you happen? Did either of y'all tune in to the episode where the true identity of the four devils was revealed? Did you know that we revealed them right here on the Random Jewels channel? World premiere. You missed the so most people didn't see it. Free to Be Me, did you see it? Mecca Divine Wisdom, what about you? Did you know the true identity of the four devils? Oh, so you did tune in, Mecca Divine Wisdom. Hey, listen, look. If only y'all knew all this time. Just remember, don't let me catch you manifesting the understanding to that degree without mentioning it, then it's going to be hell to pay. But seriously though, yeah, I figured if we go back to, you take it back to the alphabet today, truth square, for today's civilization class, because the alphabet is, sometimes the supreme alphabet doesn't get the same respect. Everybody's always coming out to 140, and of course, the supreme mathematics. But a lot of times, what I've seen is that people actually don't know what the meaning of the principles in the supreme alphabet is. Kind of gets glossed over, right? Because it's a specific way. You got to know how to apply it, and not just, applying it like pig Latin. Meaning, you just speaking English in a way that people that's not hip don't understand. But you're not really, manifesting the principles of a whole language, right? So then what you find out is that when you're dealing with that kind of pig Latin, right, that sometimes what you're saying in pig Latin doesn't coincide with what you mean. You're just going through, not to say that that never applies, but if you're just going through life, let's just see a law rule, this is, it's understandable. It does apply. But do we really know what some of this stuff means? But, so that's the question right now to the room, not rhetorical. What does truth square mean to you? Does anybody? See, the thing is, when it becomes important, right, is when you're living it out. See, if you're just speaking, right, the numbers is, they easy to flip. It sounds a certain way when you're just speaking. But see, when you're living it out, truth is very important when you're living it out. Anyone? Bueller? Don't everybody answer at the same time. to Free to Be Me says, standing on the truth is square moral compass. 793rd said, a reality and principle which as a foundation one can stand on. Anyone else? Anyone else? My girl Kiss says, one's reality as it exists today in the present. Joe Thornton said, living the truth or the science of mathematics is how you square, make right angles with your way of life. Mecca Divine Wisdom said, I'm still learning and I have it mostly memorized and I apply it daily, but it's challenging for me to explain well how I apply it. Free to Be Me said, truth, not falsehood, brings out. Indeed. See, the ultimate truth, right? The truth that we speaking about is that the black man is God. It's the reality of who the people right here on the planet is. You know what I'm saying? The reality of who is causing all this to happen, whether it happen above our heads or below our feet. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is the truth that is concealed. You know what I'm saying? The truth that, we can't breathe underwater, that's not concealed from the people. And see, what's unique about the truth of who we are, right, is that it raised us from the dead, right? Being mentally dead. When a person is mentally dead, they horizontal. You see what I'm saying? So to be on the square, right, is to be perpendicular to the ground. Perpendicular to your foundation, right? Everybody's saying this is why you standing, right? And it's also dealing with the signs of your civilization. You see what I mean? It's, when you look at the animals that they walk on all fours, right? The animals that walk on all fours, they're not civilized like us. The ones that crawl on their belly, we don't even fuck with them. You understand what I'm saying? And then you got some of them, like, bears, they can almost get upright, and they're a little bit smarter than the most. You understand what I mean? You got, monkeys and gorillas and all of them, but they don't never get perpendicular. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, even when you deal with the science, of what is that, the science of? Is that biology? No, it's not biology. Being able to walk upright is a specific characteristic of Homo sapiens. Whatever is the study that, they look at the different characteristics that distinguish different living organisms from each other. Being able to walk upright, you know what I mean, having the opposable thumb, etc., right? These is different hallmarks, right, that separate us from the other organisms. Yeah, I think that's anthropology. District 120 said, I was reading a book that was speaking about your truth. I think it was an ask, and it is given in regards to the ideas you want to manifest being your truth. More attention given to the thought, it becomes a belief or a truth to you. Nah. Nah. It's a delusion. Like when something is true to you, right? See, sometimes, see, I deal with laws, right? You know, in supreme mathematics, right? You know, so when you deal with laws, right, a law is something that you can extrapolate out to different situations, right? Like, look, I'm not trying to make no trouble, right? I'm just saying, let's pretend that gravity is real, right? Let's just pretend for a minute, just for the sake of conversation, let's pretend it's real, right? The law of gravity applies to everything. Meaning, if a bear jumps off the building, it's going to hit the ground, right? Or whatever it is that make things hit the ground, whatever you call it, right? You know, if you throw water off the building, it's going to hit the ground. You know, these things are laws. You know what I mean? Where you can use it, you can extrapolate it out, or you can use it. You know, you can apply it to different situations, right? In order to extrapolate the truth. So what I'm saying is, now, let's say a person has an idea, right? That's their truth, right? Person has an idea, that's their truth, right? And let's say that idea is that they have a friend named Kevin. But that's only their truth. The rest of us just see empty spaces. You know, we know, right, through wisdom and understanding that there is air there, that, you know, there's atoms, it's not, you know, totally empty space. That there's no person there, right? And then let's suppose, right, that person comes up to you, right, and they say, look, can you give me and Kevin a ride? Me and Kevin is trying to go downtown. Can you give me and Kevin a ride? And then you say, he said, all right, fuck it, man. You need to ride downtown, give you a ride downtown, right? And then he says, go ahead, Kevin. You sit in the front seat. Aren't you? Is it just my computer, or is everyone? It looks like we back. But yeah, suppose he says, go ahead, Kevin. You sit in the front seat, right? Now, are you going to drive your man in the back seat, right? And humor this truth? Are you going to partake in this? This hold on for a second. So yeah, where we at? Yeah, I mean, that's an open question for everybody. That's an open question for everybody in the room. What do you do? What do you do in that situation right there? When somebody, they come up and ask you to give them and their imaginary friend a ride, right? They have a friend that's only their truth. And then he says, he tells the imaginary friend, go ahead, you ride in the front seat. Like, what do you do right there? That's not, that's not rhetorical. I really want to know. I'm taking, I'm taking, we got to do this survey. What do you do in a situation like that? So as W said, he's pulling off. Joe Thornton said, to make knowledge born or make the unknown known. That's what I'm saying, because man, this is what I'm saying. I got a better one. Since some people seem like they're a little bit, they don't know what they would do, right? Some people, some people, some people seem like they don't know. See, Seven Powers said it depends if I know the person. All right, so Seven Powers, what I'm saying. Let's say you pull up at the light, right? You pull up at the light, right? And I happen to be crossing the street right there, and I see you in the car and shit, right? And you you riding you riding with nobody next to you right there, right? And your man's in the back seat and shit, right? And then I'm like, yo, what's the deal, man? What you doing, right? What do you say? Like, do you say, yo, nah, I'm giving my two homies a ride? I'm giving my two homies a ride down to the, giving them a ride downtown. I don't see well, how do you explain that? Free to be me said crackhead told me his reality was being high as long as he's not hurting no one. Yeah, you can say that. You can say you're doing Uber. You can say you're doing Uber, and then yeah, I would, cause but other than that, I'll be like, yo, what you giving your two homies a ride? Did you see how that? That's how you know, your truth works out. They see me, I don't, you know, I'm not the type of person, right? Like, you know, camping and all this shit, being out in the forest, you know. But I like to watch, you know, shows about nature on TV. That's one of my favorite things. You know, speaking of that, somebody gave me a TV last night. They just gave it to me. And I was just thinking, you know, I was like, you know, it wasn't like I was looking for a TV. You know, I didn't really care about it. It doesn't, you know, like even when I got it, I didn't have anything to watch. Like I didn't have no show that I just flipped through the channels. Like I don't really, you know, but I was thinking, you know, maybe, you know, maybe that's a good thing. Then maybe I stop paying attention to stuff I shouldn't be paying attention to. Who knows? But at any rate, this particular show, this was about a dude that he thought that what would be the word for it? Like he thought that he had like pet bears or something. Like I don't know what the word is, but he was going out into the wild and living amongst bears. And he was filming it and everything. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, you know, he was doing it, but you know, he didn't have no type of degree or nothing like that. He just was some dude with his camera, and he went out into the forest, and he was, you know, filming his interaction, living amongst the bears, right? And eventually, you know, he was so you know, convinced of his truth, right? He was so convinced of his truth, he brought this woman out there with him. You know what I'm saying? And the bears ate them. I ain't no friend, he was lit. He went out like a trooper. Like because like they found the camera, right? And he's filming, you know, the camera's on or whatever. I don't know if he's particularly filming, but the camera's on while the bear is attacking. and he's telling the woman, yo, look, run, you know what I'm saying? Leave me, don't worry about me, just save yourself. But she sits there screaming, and the bear ends up getting her too. But I'm just saying, you know, when people saying that they got their own truth, you know, there's a there's a kind of common reality there that you know, we all got to deal with. You know, even, you know, if you might exist in a world, right, where, you know, Kevin's a real person. So that's why, you know, I don't, you know, anything, you know, where the truth keeps changing. Like, see, when people say what's true today might not be true tomorrow, now you're talking about something else. They see, when I was 10 years old, right, I was a certain height. I'm not that height right now, but I'm also not 10 years old right now. If I tell you what my height is now, that's something else. It doesn't affect that truth that when I was 10 years old, I was that height. Yeah, you know, in terms of saying, you know, how we got to apply the knowledge and wisdom, right? You know, yeah, you know, what was true, you know, how we light the house, right, in 1900, right? What was true for that, just that concept, right, of how we light the house, what was true for for uh for for 1900, right, is not true for 2020. But it doesn't change what happened in 1900. Make it divine wisdom says that's kind of variable. What's variable? Yeah, that's it. Listen, as soon as I seen him out there, at 793rd, that's what I say, you know. Remember that cartoon back in the days? I think it was Bugs Bunny, when the bear came out and told the character, I'm about to eat you. And the character said, why you gonna eat me? He said, because I'm a bear, that's what we do. He said, that's what I do. I eat, sleep, sleep, eat. That's what Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Maybe his mother ain't let him watch cartoons when he was little. Make it divine wisdom said it's a fact in that moment, but it changes. See, the facts and circumstances that comprise the reality that we exist in, right, is constantly changing, right? You know, even things, you know, a stone that appears to just be sitting there, right? It might take 1,000 years, 10,000 years for you to actually notice the difference, right? But even if we just talking about the rate that things is vibrating at, even when they appear to be staying still, right? You know, all of these things, yeah, we know that's in constant flux. You know what I'm saying? You know, balance is an activity, you know, more so than it is a state. You know, but battery battery winding down quick this week. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But you know, there's just, you know, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole of, you know, truths that people have, right? That don't coincide with the reality of uh, choices, decisions, and consequences. You know, like if a person thinks they can fly, right? You know, that reality, you know, that their truth doesn't coincide with the reality of if they try to fly. You know. Well, I guess it would be cool if they try to just take off from the ground. But if they think they could just perch on the side of the Empire State Building and just soar off it, and they'll have some problems. You see, we're talking on the universal scale, like I said, you know, the truth of who we are, right? Putting us on the perpendicular in life itself, right? But, you know, it's the same thing, you know, like District 120, right? You know, you're a manager of different stores or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When a person comes in, right, and you give them the knowledge and wisdom of, all right, these is the things that, you know, you gotta do in order to be successful here, right? You know, it comes a point where the person, you know, they can stand on their own. And you can tell them, yo, look, I gotta go do something over here, right? On this side, you hold us down. They can stand upright in that position on their own. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how we teach. You know, just, you know, in terms of, well, you know, that's teaching. Not to say that it's us, you know, but, you know, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man a fish, feed him for a lifetime, right? You know, you gave him the truth, so now he can stand perpendicular on his own. You understand what I'm saying? You know, he he's not, you know, mentally dead in that situation where he don't know what to do. You see, in certain situations, you know, if you mentally dead, you become physically dead. You know, if you don't know how to feed yourself. Abdur Rahman. You know, we was on a roll. We was on a roll, wasn't we? Abdur Rahman. Abdur Rahman has found us. So what you got? What you got in the box of chocolates today, Abdur Rahman? we trying to get you in the square. We try to get you in the square. You know what? Do you know what truth is square means, Abdul Rahman? Abdul Rahman, you there? What does truth is square mean? Oh man, knowledge. You don't want to go there. I thought we was gonna keep it simple today, knowledge. Thought we just was gonna deal with the square. Now knowledge wants to take it to the cube. Let's, I don't know. We might should keep it simple. We might should keep it simple. We just listen. We just got them perpendicular. That's a different realm. We might have to go there tomorrow. But like I said, we got batteries is getting a little bit down low already. You know, that's my fault. We should have been a little bit better prepared with the battery, but we have some things to do tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna be a little bit more situated back, acclimated to the thing that we do. But do you have any questions out there? You know, about what we built on today, or what you said, a mason on the square too? Uh, I mean, you know, what they saying is related, but now they're talking about something else. You said it's the civilized, the uncivilized, and the Nation of Islam, three different groups of people. I see it as three different groups, as the Nation of Islam is not in the 16th degree, but in the 9th degree in the 1 to 10. Well, the civilized and the uncivilized would definitely have to be two different groups of people. Uh, you know, I mean, the 16th degree says, also known as civilized people, also Muslims. You know, I would consider them to be amongst civilized people. Do you see truth or square as a choice to make, like build or destroy? Uh, it's a choice, but not like build or destroy. You know, with build or destroy, right? Uh, you know, your choice is the opposite things that you're doing. You know, you're doing one or the other. You know, when you deal with truth or square, you're dealing with which stage that you in. You know what I'm saying? You know, like let's take the situation if you're dealing with a person, right? And, you know, if, let's say, a person borrows some money from you, right? And they say, yo, look, I'm gonna pay you back on this day, right? Now, if what they told you is the truth, then they gonna make it square on that day that they told you. You know, or, you know, whatever day, maybe before that, maybe a day after that, but they gonna make it square. You understand what I'm saying? So with that, you know, it's more of a stage of, you know, a choice of, you know, which stage you identifying an interaction in. You know what I'm saying? You know, or just like, you know, getting the knowledge. You know, you hear the truth. You might be speaking the truth, but a lot of that time, you still coming to the stage of perpendicular. You know, you still rising. You know, you still coming out your slumber when you first get the knowledge. He said, I told the brother I was trying to stay on my square and start talking masonry. What you mean? He started talking masonry or you started talking masonry? See, like I said, with everything, you're dealing with levels, right? You're dealing with levels. So yeah, you know, the Masonic stuff, what they talking about is civilization and righteousness. You know, just to be square in their dealings. You understand what I'm saying? People, who don't have basic knowledge of civilization, yeah, they could benefit from that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's piece of civilization. But to say that they fully aware, like I'm just saying, I've yet to see it. Like in all the time, I've never ran into, these Masonic people that saw a high power like that. Now that could be because the ones that I ran into is that good at keeping it secret. Who knows? But what they're mostly dealing with is, folklore and ritual. And is there knowledge, wisdom, and understanding embedded in there? Yes. Right, exactly. Masonry is focused on character building, and that's peace. You know, just teaching you to be a positive member of society. But what we teaching, right, is that the black man is God. You said still researching because I found where Elijah said the black Muslim term came from the press and not from himself. Well, what about the 136? The 15th degree. Cape Horn was the science. See, I think he might mean those terms together, meaning the terms, the black Muslim. Is probably a media term, and K-boy, you out here with these 5%, you just getting back out there. He said, I was looking at that because who was the Arabs at that time? Did they refer to themselves as Muslim when they had us enslaved? Were they Muslims first or were we? I don't, alright, well, when you say who was the Arabs, right, at what time? Then you said, did they refer to themselves as Muslim when they had us enslaved? We would have to refer to Mr. Spot, maybe knowledge a lot for some specific knowledge because the reason why I say that is that, and then, yeah, you know what it is? I don't have the specific knowledge of what they was calling themselves, right? But at different times, for instance, you know, but this is, you're going to see that as how they was referred to by Europeans. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily that that's how they was referring to themselves, right? But, you know, you hear of times when they was referred to as the Mohammedans. So, you know, specifically, what is the origin of the word Muslim? I do not know. One King said there was a special on TV, I think in 1961, called "The Hate That Hate Produced," and the media coined the term Black Muslim. Oh, and you know, I saw that that special right there too. So that was where the term Black Muslim came from. Black Muslims. You said, would they be the son or the original? What do you mean? Would who be the son or original? She's are Arabs the original Muslims, or are Africans? See, we don't have, we're gonna, you gotta re-ask this question more. We don't have enough battery power. We don't have enough battery power right now. Ah man, see y'all going in Muslim, Moors, Arabs, or Berber. Listen, listen. We gonna have to come. We coming back. See, we gotta listen. Y'all gonna make me call Encyclopedia Brown. We gotta do the primaries. They get the primaries. But we're gonna go into. You know what I mean? Because see, now you got a religious lesson crossed with a history lesson. You know what I mean? You got wars, migration. You got so many different things mixed in there that yeah, we're gonna have to. See, now you going back thousands of years. Now you're talking about all different seeds and you know, how things interact. So, in the meantime, do we have any other questions? Precisely, Mecca Divine Wisdom, yes. You know, we've got to, I mean, the questions that y'all are asking, exactly. Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. That, you know, you got the same areas, you know, the same geographical areas, you know, you got all of these different accomplishments, right? And it's depending on which century you in, right? Is how these people are identified. So, you know, yeah. Whoa, Seven Power said, I would say that the white Arabs were the first Muslims. That is throwing a bomb in the middle of the floor right there. Ooh. I just want you to know one thing. Seven Power. you trying to make a little trouble there. You're trying to make a little trouble there. Just be careful. I got 4 for them. Chief Diablo in the building. You know, I haven't had a chance to be on, but I prepared. I was prepared. Just in case I had any challenges. One pillow. Don't make me put no little fire and brimstone on you there. I knew the type of things that would happen. As soon as people found out I was the chief. See, that's the only problem with being number one. Constant challenges. Shalom. What's the signs? Freedom be me, you got a point there. Everything originates from the black. You know, but, you know, I don't know if that was a part of the question. 7 Power said, according to John Henry Clark, the original people embraced Islam because they saw their principles of spirituality in it. See, now we get into a particular science, right? Of why. See, I'm going to leave it like this. Right? In the born degree, right? Elijah Muhammad tells us that Islam has no birth record, right? But Muhammad was born in 570. You know what I'm saying? You know, all the particular dates, you know, and exactly I would have to brush up on, but you know, I know there's 610 is an important date in the founding of Islam, 632. So if we could put a birth record on these things, right? It's not what we're talking about. You see, Shalal put it right here. See, everything that we dealing with is living supreme mathematics. And see, at different points, right, so that people don't forget, things had to be written down. See, just like right now, right, people is trying to document what happened in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and the 90s, so that they can apply it now. You see what I'm saying? So at any given time, right, the people, look, the game Monopoly.
Please, bro. Can I get one water?
Please. Huh?
Can I get one water? Or enough for... Oh, you got kind of...
The game Monopoly, right, was a game that existed it was around. Like people used to make it up. They would make the board themselves, and it wasn't, people would, like the street names or whatever, they would name it whatever they wanted to name it. But then eventually, somebody that seen that, everywhere that this game existed, it was a lot of fun and people liked it, right? They went and introduced it to the Hasbro or Warner Brothers people or whoever they took it to, right? And that's when the game became solidified, because in that version that they made, they put those iconic, boardwalk, park place, etc., etc. But when that happened, certain things became commemorated a certain particular way. See, that's why in the lessons it tells you, you know what I'm saying, well, not in the lessons, but, when we deal with the understanding, right, we know that 1,000 years might go into that one day. You see what I'm saying? Like, see, on a particular day, right, I came out and I say I had knowledge of myself, right? But a person would have not even been able to explain to me this science if I hadn't already built up some of that knowledge. At least enough so that, all right, when I hear somebody tell me the science, right, and how to apply it, I can absorb it. So that's why I used to say before, you gotta be educated before you could be enlightened. Like if a person doesn't know that 1 + 1 is 2, right? How you gonna begin to, really take them to the higher levels of that concept, and that principle? So, this is one thing right here that I'm not sure if, the word they say, if you conflating some things here, you know what I'm saying, about, people, about history, you know what I'm saying, there's certain things, like, see, for instance, right, in Egypt, right, you don't see a lot of, you don't hear them making a big deal about the pyramids. And one of the reasons for that is because that's not their history. The people that's there now is not the people that was there. They got 2 dams there. I think it's more than 2, but they got is Aswan 1 and Aswan 2. And if you look up the history of those dams being built, they flooded out lands. You know how the Egypt, I think that's supposed to be upper Egypt is the south. But all of these Nilotic people, if you know about the Nile, that's those jet black people. A whole bunch of them they got flooded out. So right now, if you look over there, right, that's who you see. Sometimes you got to be aware of all that propaganda. Like I was telling the person, I've never met a light-skinned Panamanian in real life. And by the same token, I've never seen a dark-skinned Panamanian on TV. Like if I have, I didn't know, they wasn't introduced like that. You see what I'm saying? So, a lot of different places, even, look, in recent times, we've seen that happen. right? If you go in Bed-Stuy right now, some blocks, you wouldn't know that, yo, son, this is where it went down. This is where the stories you heard. This is, you know, same thing in Harlem. So, you know, we really got to go into all those different aspects, you know, with those particular questions that y'all asked. That's why I said whew, whew, get the vaccine. Gotta burn y'all out. But you know, in the meantime, in between time, you know, like I said, the battery's almost fading out there. You know, like I said, tomorrow we'll have a little bit. We'll be more prepared to handle what we gotta handle. You know, we'll be on in time, and we'll go for our full distance. You know, yeah, I thought y'all would have more questions built up by the time I came back. But, you know, we know about me that, you know, once I manifest this, it's so clear. It's never a question. That's what happens when you're number one. So at any rate, we're gonna throw our theme music on here, and